Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Arijit Singh's new song.
Wow.
So
Efra has been
I've been listening to 2 of his new songs.
freaking out about this.
Is it
whole weekend.
Excuse my singing. Also, if we sound a bit fucked and we look burnt, it's because we were just at a festival, a Hallyu Pop Fest for the weekend. Very little sleep and very little shade, actually. Now, he's also released another one called like Pir. Is the one that goes, oh, that one. But then the new one is called Fitoor or Fiture, and not Terra Fitoor, because that one we've heard before. So let's give it a watch. We've heard this a bit of it in the stream.
Neeti Mohan.
Yeah, but we've never actually seen the video, and I thought we'd do a complete full review because it deserves it.
And he has captions.
Nice.
Or so he says, I don't know.
Apologies for the long intro.
That's beautiful cinematography. A horse? A whole horse?
Pause. Alright, can I just say something? Very cinematic and stuff like that. Motherfucker, you threw ash. Is it ash?
No, it's
Sand. If you throw ash at any girl, dog.
No, just sand. It's not
Sand.
ash.
I said sand. I said the word sand. If you throw sand at any girl, it's just,
At their face.
it's just not gonna work, dog.
I
Even
don't
if
think
it's
they're
magical sand. However, I'm just being facetious. Let's say, is that the word? Facetious?
Facetious.
No, facetious.
Fa.
Yeah, but let's right, fuck off. It's facetious. But yeah, let's obviously get into the art and stuff like that. But it's just hilarious because he's like, damn, what the fuck.
A horse and sand.
But great environmentally speaking, and fucking the ambient that it creates, given the sort of cinematography plus the music.
It's
obviously
brilliant.
fantastic. I just don't want to sound redundant because we say that quite often in a lot of these Indian music productions.
I want to know what the whole movie is about.
Yeah.
Why is he in a horse?
It's also smart that they release the songs before the movies a lot of the time, right? Because they know that Arijit's so famous and stuff like that, so he creates such.
The guy has looked the same
Lambera.
like 30 years. Oh, cool.
Nice.
Love me a good contemporary drop. I always will agree with those.
Also, it's fantastic.
Cinematic is beautiful.
It's fantastic to see as well the evolution of the not just the indie music industry, but just overall that this is being implemented on the idea that both visually and auditory you can mix those and make them so congruent that you can then not only create musical compositions that become the epitome of sort of cinematography, but also that they can provide
This dynamics. Look at this.
a full experience. The sand is part of the music. Oh shit. That is fucking wonderful.
Is he hallucinating?
Feels like.
Ooh. Yeah, it kind of like, because he's in the desert.
He might be so.
He might be like so dehydrated
that he's hallucinating. That's obviously also such a great depiction of love, right? I love you so much that I could transform myself into anything you'd want. For love, that's a kind of the sacrifices sometimes you have to make, right?
Also, let's talk about the introduction of percussion into this particular track.
Yeah.
Because the vocals are so ethereal and they have been mixed and equalized in this like high reverb environment, like a lot of echo, a lot of delay. So you get this like cool phase through like sound environment, but then the inclusion of percussion could be such a disruptive idea when the vocals have been so magically equalized. They could bring such like a disturbance rather than something so cohesive. But in this particular case, the way that they have been directed or written into the composition, they actually heightened the whole idea of the magic. A reason why I feel like he is hallucinating.
I would lean towards you.
Yeah, but
well.
again, I think it's the magic of percussion and how it has been so tastefully added in.
I think you're also quite good at predicting this shit.
That's so cool!
He is definitely hallucinating. That's beautiful. Look at that shot, man.
Just look at this.
That's fucking unreal. And I think also what's super interesting as well, again, is like, I think this is the evolution of what we will see in compositions as we keep evolving with technology and as time progresses. It's not just a auditory experience, it is now a stimulation of all senses. Like you can, especially in this shot here, probably here. There. Pause. Play, sorry. That's what those rocks, I would imagine, if they had voices, or if those were entities, that's what it would sound like.
I think it's also really cool. It's really cleverly composed because right before the whole choir comes in, and it's male voices. They're so guttural. They're so rooted. They're so grounded. The fact that the bit before it is whispery, it's so like it's again
waves, sort of like
backing into that ethereal, enchanting like essence of the vocals, and it's so beautifully equalized that the sh all the s's and the sh in the diction become really amplified. And so when the male choir comes in, you have this complete contrast. It's grounded, it's rooted, it has depth, it has this vast feel to it.
The way you would find, again, this is a heavy review and analyzing this whole composition, so I would encourage you to go to the original. Not only does the show support to Arijit and everyone else, not that he needs it, but you know what I mean. It's always the right thing to do. You would imagine that the way you'd see the evolution of compositions in the sense of they're now becoming a complete stimulation of the senses. Mm-hmm. The way you notice this, in case you're wondering that yourself, is if you find yourself characterizing or you describing the song, and those same characteristics could be used for the description of the imagery, you have found yourself a congruent stimulation of all senses.
Yeah. Correct.
Rather than I can describe a song in a specific way and I can describe the video in another specific manner. Mm-hmm. Obviously, they would have some sort of harmony and correlation, but not the exact same elements are present in both. And that's how you know that it was done in a sort of a, what would you call it, on purpose, deliberately.
This is where I think these compositions are done brilliantly, because it's like they spend time in the lab.
Yep.
From both visual
sense
and
the care.
Yeah, from the vision standpoint to the vision for the song itself. Because if you realize, if you notice in this section here, there's a lot of sensual attraction from the male character towards the female character. That's kind of like ethereal. So the male voices, the male choir, actually to me also represent the male desire. So something so
libido.
Something so animalistic.
That's right.
There's a carnal environment to it. And given the fact that it's so, I don't know, out of this world in the imagery of the video, it kind of, again, it alludes a lot to the idea of delusion in love itself.
That's CGI, put that?
Yeah, it's definitely CGI, bro.
Because I recognize that rock, weirdly enough.
No, I think the environment that we're seeing might be real. Thing? No, it actually might be real footage that they have then combined with the green screen and whatever. Yeah. Again, it's like goodness, that's beautiful.
See, I imagine the sound of those pebbles being like bells, because given this sort of fictional, thanks, fictional nature of the scene, you imagine that the sound of the bells, which is obviously very present in Hindustani and Carnatic classical music, to keep the tempo of things and the time signature. But that's what I'd imagine this shit would sound like. Like his steps, I don't know, they'll have a jingle to them.
Yeah.
खुद को ढूंढना हूं मैं
Hey! Pause! That is fucking ginormous if you've ever seen any Indian
I
music
think
industry videos.
This is the first time we're witnessing a kiss from the Bollywood music videos that we've.
Not a kiss in
But
the
like
movies,
it.
because in the movies they do kiss every
But
now
it's
and then.
okay, we're
Yeah, because-
close enough. But the whole
'Cause they
thing is
keep
so
it-
sensual.
But they keep it so, usually in these sort of compositions, especially the ones that go so viral, they keep a sense of delicacy and insinuation, pursue but unattainable. It's really interesting. It's so similar as how Korean dramas do this. Korean dramas, they do it for a different purpose though. They do it to milk the shit out of the episodes.
Maybe they do it the same reason here.
Well, it's a movie though.
So when the moment happens in the movie, it becomes
It's even
such
bigger.
a highlight.
Yeah, that's also the same
Yeah,
as they do in
yeah.
Korea. But
So cool.
I think also it's because given the sort of relationship between spirituality in a lot of the compositions that we kind of have reviewed, because they're some of the most interesting ones to review, because the musical compositions are more complex rather than just four on the floor and fucking a pop song. Yeah, they kind of don't kiss, but now they have, and because they're obviously alluding as well. They're fucking. They are.
Why, Efra? But you can say it in a better
No,
way.
that's what they're alluding to. This carnal, fucking burning desire to get that woman's clothes off,
Yeah.
and for him and her to make babies.
No, be one. It's not about.
Yeah, and fuck. So
Oh my
the fact that they have just, they've portrayed that picture, but then they wouldn't kiss.
Yeah.
That's usually how these videos would go. But anyways, go on.
Correct. Nice.
You love my madness.
It's like delusion in love itself.
It's a desert with water. Maybe he's not hallucinating.
Oh, well, obviously not, but.
Shamshera.
Shamshera.
The trailer.
Oh, what on the air?
22nd of July, so it's already released.
To be completely honest, I have to say something real cool here.
What's
It
the
hasn't
date?
released, Efra. It's like the 10th or something. I know.
Bro, I thought this
It feels
weekend
like-
7 days passed. I kid you not. In 2 days, I feel like I've lived 2 weeks. 2 days, 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's only the first. It's only like the first week of July.
Holy shit.
Yeah. But to be completely honest, the idea of delusion and madness in love and this carnal desire and like,
He's going to make irrational choices.
exactly, and I feel like he is a man of leadership. But given that last scene, there's some sort of respect and looking up to from the people surrounding him. So I think overall there must be, and it's such a huge deal, right? Like the whole interaction is such a big deal.
Yeah,
I think
he's
perhaps she would be like the demise of his rising or something like that.
Yeah, usually it's that case. Yeah, women end up fucking up all these men in these movies, isn't it? It is like for love.
It's
No,
not,
I'm not
true.
saying. I'm not
That's
saying-
what the hell? Do you know much Bajirao Mastani? Like, listen, she was his salvation, and then
he's dead.
because they took her away and separated them. But if they stayed together,
Madness, yeah.
they
Say she didn't
would've-
exist, he probably would have conquered the whole of India.
Oh,
See what I mean? But I don't. I'm saying it like, wow, this is where my career ends. I'm not saying it like in a bad way. I'm just saying that love it would be the same if she was a woman warrior.
well, I'm
It's
actually
kind of the
very-
same as what Bajirao Mastani, right? It's her love for Bajirao that absolutely dismantles her and makes her do irrational choices, travels across
Correct,
kingdoms.
correct,
So
correct,
it is
correct.
the irrationality
That's
of
what I mean.
love.
It's the delusion.
It's not just because it's women. It could also be a man. Okay?
It's the delusion of love. Is the oh my god. Is the idea of having is the idea of having something so strong, a feeling so strong that it tramples everything logical in your mind. The reason why that whole scene underwater felt so out of place, why I thought they were hallucinating, because there is something so powerful at play, and it's obviously that carnal desire, the need for each other, that completely distorts reality. It's a brilliantly executed video, though. It's like
fantastic music,
fantastically
musical
composed
composition,
song. I think this is going to be a great movie.
If there's two movies that I think perhaps would be good to do a review on, as I said, end of July is when we'll be working on the new channel where we do movie reviews from the indie music
I would
industry.
say early August, but again,
Yeah, late July, early August. It's just we have lots of stuff going on. July, as you guys know, is probably the busiest month we've ever had in our, not in our lives, but in the YouTube space of things, and we're about to turn 3 on YouTube as well. So in October, so
we are officially toddlers
Yeah.
soon in October.
that's right. And you guys, keep supporting us, and you keep changing our lives and stuff like that, and that allows us to bring some of these artists onto the podcast and create more amazing content. So thank you so much for all of that. If there's anything you'd like us to review or have a look at, kind of let us know. And goodbye.
Okay.